Daniel Moreira was the brightest star in national cinema. In just a few years, he had won awards, gained recognition, and built a loyal fan base. With his natural charm and undeniable talent, everything he touched seemed to turn to gold. When it was announced that he would star in Echoes of Tomorrow, a high-budget psychological thriller, the news quickly went viral. The film promised to be a turning point in his career, cementing him as a legend. Filming began with great anticipation. The director, Mauro Vasquez, was known for being a perfectionist, and the script included complex, emotional scenes. Daniel seemed perfect for the role, a man tormented by inexplicable voices, trapped between reality and hallucination. For the first few weeks, everything seemed to be going well, but then things began to change. It started with small incidents. A lighting technician mentioned that the studio lights flickered without reason, even after the wiring had been thoroughly checked. A production assistant swore they heard footsteps in an empty hallway. Other crew members began to report an unsettling feeling, as if someone was watching them. Daniel, meanwhile, seemed increasingly distant. He, who had always been vibrant and full of energy, now wandered with a lost expression and spoke little between scenes. Some attributed it to exhaustion or his dedication to the character, but his co-star, Clara, knew something was wrong. "Are you okay?" she asked him during a break. Daniel took a few seconds before replying. "I think I'm hearing things. Maybe it's just the pressure." Clara tried to reassure him, but there was something in Daniel's expression that she couldn't ignore. The tragedy happened in the 5th week of filming. The crew was shooting a pivotal scene in an old, isolated house rented exclusively for the movie. According to the script, Daniel was supposed to climb a staircase while hearing voices coming from the upper floor. The scene was intense, with Daniel portraying the climax of his character's torment. But something went terribly wrong. During the recording, Daniel stopped midway up the stairs, as if he were hearing something real. He looked up, his eyes wide, and began murmuring something no one could understand. Before anyone could intervene, he fell. The fall was quick and brutal. The entire production was in shock. An ambulance was called, but it was too late. Daniel Moreira, the biggest star in cinema, was dead. Filming was immediately halted, and the movie's production went on indefinite pause. The entire country was in mourning, and theories about the accident spread rapidly. Some believed Daniel had suffered a breakdown due to the intensity of his role. Others claimed he had been facing personal issues and that perhaps the incident wasn't an accident. For months, the project remained frozen. However, the studio's pressure was immense. The investment in the film was too high, and the director, Mauro, decided to resume filming as a tribute to Daniel. Claire, though hesitant, agreed to continue. But when the crew returned to the set, the problems began again. Objects disappeared and reappeared in different places. Cameras turned off on their own, and recorded scenes had strange noises, like whispers that no one remembered hearing during the takes. The most disturbing incident happened during a nighttime scene. While reviewing the footage from the day, they noticed something in the background of one of the shots. A silhouette that looked like Daniel, standing in the upper window of the house. "That's not possible," Clara said as Mauro zoomed in on the video. The figure had the same posture and expression as Daniel in his final scenes, but he hadn't been on set that day. The atmosphere among the crew grew tense. Some members abandoned the project, unable to handle the inexplicable events. Those who stayed were divided between skepticism and fear. Morrow insisted everything could be explained rationally, but even he began to show signs of exhaustion. One night, Clara decided to film a scene alone to keep the schedule on track. As she read her lines in the silence of the set, she heard a low laugh coming from one of the upstairs rooms. She froze, her heart pounding. "Who's there?" she called out, but there was no response. Clara took out her phone and started recording as she climbed the stairs, her breathing heavy. When she reached the top, she saw that the door to the room was slightly ajar. She pushed it open slowly and found the room empty. But when she reviewed the recording later, she noticed something that nearly made her drop the phone. A voice whispering her name, low and raspy, just before she opened the door. Clara showed the video to Morrow, who turned pale. He asked everyone not to mention the incident, fearing it would drive the rest of the crew away. In the following days, the occurrences intensified. Clara began receiving strange messages on her phone, always during filming. They were incomplete texts, as if someone were trying to say something. One of them simply said, "I'm still here." She tried to trace the number, but it was impossible. The message seemed to have been sent from within the set. By the end of filming, the crew could barely maintain professionalism. The last day was particularly difficult. Clara had to film Daniel's final scene, and Morrow decided to use a stand-in and visual effects to complete it. As Clara read her lines, the stage door slammed shut on its own. The lights flickered, and the microphone picked up a muffled sound that no one on set heard at the time. When they reviewed the recording, they clearly heard Daniel's voice. "Why did you stop?" Clara couldn't hold back her tears. Morrow decided to wrap filming immediately. The movie was finally completed, but none of the cast or crew wanted to attend the premiere. Despite the troubled production, Echoes of Tomorrow was released and quickly became a box office success. However, audiences noticed something strange. In one of the final scenes, as Clara speaks on the phone, a shadow appears reflected in the mirror behind her. It was subtle, but anyone paying attention could recognize Daniel's face. The film was praised as a masterpiece, but those who worked on it knew the truth. They believed Daniel had never truly left the set. Want to know more about this story and many others we still have to share? Then don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Every day, a new story comes straight from our mysterious archive, filled with tales and accounts we've gathered from various sources. Cases with stories that will give you chills. Also, don't forget to share this video with that friend of yours who loves a good mystery.